Hello and welcome to the webinar today on performance management during remote work. This is brought to you by Citrix. My name is Kalpana Singhal, Editor-in-Chief, Tech Plus Media and CXO TV, and I'm going to be your moderator today. Before I introduce you to the presenter, I just want to take a moment to set context for this session. In the current times, enabling hybrid workforce has been the topmost priority for most of the organizations. In fact, many things about the workplace have changed over the last 12 years, but the need to get the best from employees has not changed. In a remote environment, trust is absolutely foundational. When trust isn't there, employees don't perform as well remotely. Trusting employees to manage their own time might be the first step, but there are other things to consider ensuring remote performance management runs smoothly. The shift requires organizations to redefine the workplace to unlock the employee potential in a remote setting. In addition, IT needs to be agile enough to provide performance insights and prescriptive guidance, as well as personalized work environment for seamless success. To help us address these challenges, we have once again invited Fenil Shah, Senior System Engineer, Citrix India, to help us build next-gen secure hybrid workforce with best end-user experience and productivity. Welcome, Fenil.
Hey, hi, Kalpana.
Hi.
How are you?
Fenil, I'm good. About you?
Yeah. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much. Yeah, over to you.
Yeah. So, Fenil, most of the organizations are focused towards redefining and building workspace that could unlock employee potential.
Yeah.
According to you, how can organizations aggregate workspaces to make things easier for employees?
Oh, okay. So there are a couple of things, right? And before I start, let me just share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I hope all the attendance participants who are listening to us are safe at their home. Yeah, and we wish you the best health. Now let me start, right? The answer to you, right? How the workspace has changed in this remote working culture and how the performance has to be managed. So the first and the simple answer which I can give it over here is what we need to do is we need to unify the work. These days we have a lot of different workspaces, right, to do a specific task. And a lot of different devices are in place too. Now to do a specific task, right, you right now to log into one particular application vendor's workspace and just do the specific stuff and then go to the another one. And likewise, you have a couple of workspaces. So the first and foremost goal I would suggest is you got to unify the work. And why even this is being recognized by the industry. Here you see that 67% of the workers, right, they believe that it would be very easier to focus if they have a single workspace in a single window. To access the content, different view, to access the desktop, different view, to access the applications, web, SaaS, mobile, different views. That's why the Business Wire has done one survey, research, and then they come up with this 67% number, and that's a real huge number, right? Now, how Citrix has done a good work in this particular space and resolve this particular issue of multiple workspaces, right, by unifying the workspace. Now here you see on my screen, right, it is a single screen, a single window, all the distributed data sources you would be having, right? You may have a network share, your data may come a Dropbox for business, a Microsoft Exchange, OneDrive, SharePoints, you have a different points where the data is present. Now, how can we do a single sign-on to all of them and get your data in a single place? So it is a single window experience for you where you can work on your data, you can move, migrate, and everything is auditable, right, for the administrator. So let's say, Kalpana, you pick up one file and share it with me, then your admin would know that the file is shared with someone else and what was the size of the file and everything, right? So granular control over files are in place. At the same time, if you see over here that these days, right, while we work remotely, there are no physical documents. That's where the e-signature concept comes in. And this particular solution in a single window where you can see your data, this particular solution will even allow you to do the e-signatures. Even the middleware will become the legal identity, right? That this is a document being signed by Kalpana and Fanil. You can have a document workflows too. That's where your performance and remote works becomes very much simple. First, you can see in a single screen your all the data. That's the first point. The second is, after doing that single sign-on, your all applications, right? The virtual applications, the software as a service application, like Salesforce, the web applications, all applications are visible in a single screen. All desktops on-prem, coming from cloud, coming from desktop as a service, all are visible in a single screen. And the files which we just talked about, right? The data, again, it is present in a single screen. So all files are present over here. Yeah, so that is what the 4 different pointers I just wanted to talk on, where you can have the unification of the work. And I think that's make the workspace really simple, a single screen to access everything. What do you think, Kalpana? Over to you.
Yeah, sure. So before moving to the next question, I would also like to inform all our attendees that they can keep their questions ready, as at the end of the session, we'll be taking up all their questions. Yeah. So with this,
Sure.
I can understand that, yeah, the if workers get all the important information from all the apps they are using in a single window, it helps in unlocking their potential.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah. So how do you think organizations can simplify the work experience for employees through personalized work environment, which could improve their productivity?
Yeah, so I think first was the unification of work was required, and the second is simplifying the work, right? And that's where in the industries a lot of people are talking about how we can increase the productivity of an employee, how we can make an employee engaged to the system he is working on. How can I save, let's say, maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes by the technology for an end user, so that the same time, right, can be leveraged for the productive work, same time can be leveraged with the family these days, right? So how we can enhance on those aspects. Now we know that in industry, the robotic process automation, RPA, and the workflow automation, so the word automation has really catched up, and everyone is gunning for automation to make the process really simple. Now, how we can use that automation over here to make the end user productive and engaged? Now, for that, we have done again a survey. Now, one survey says, right, that 80% of all business application employee use just 4 to 5 features and functionality. That means if I'm the Salesforce user, I go to Salesforce, and then I actually, from the sales angle, focusing on only 4 to 5 aspects of that particular application. Let's say, Kalpana, you as an user would see something related to CRM applications, and in CRM application, you again using a 4 to 5 functions which are related to your KRA, related to your job roles, right? And that is what the 80% of all business applications, we are using it. That's how the 4 to 5 key functions. So that is the first search has been done. And that is where what we have done to improve on that aspects. Can't we take this 4 to 5 function, do some automation, and present to you as a card which you see over here? For an example, here you see the business application. So we have, let's say, one application as an SAP Concur. Now, SAP Concur, what do you do if you want to create an expense report? So you may go to your centralized portal, or you may go to the URL which is given by SAP. You click on that SAP Concur application, you log in by your corporate credentials, and then you go to the specific workflow, right? You go to the specific path that the expense report can be created. Now, what I have done over here, instead of going to the specific application and following this workflow to do the specific task of creating an expense report or approving an expense report, I have created something called as a micro apps. So Citrix came up with this micro app technology, which is a low code application and designed to automate your workflows, right? Now over here on the screen, which you can see, that I am an approver, I am a manager, and somebody has put an expense report of around $3,000. Now, what do I want to do? The first, do I want to approve it as I know directly approve it, or I know that this should not be the amount I can send back, or I can click on this particular card to understand that how do you define the expense report, right? How this $3,600 amount came up. So that is where this micro app technology is going to help you, where it is a low code applications and all the workflows or software as a service applications and web applications. The way you see, right? I have just expanded my card and you can see the information over here. That is where the experience of an end user, right? We are making it intelligent by showing all those applications like ServiceNow, G Suite, SAP Concur, Tableau, and then we have Salesforce. We have 100 plus out-of-box experience workflows, Kalpana, and that those out-of-box experience workflow, right, is going to help you build these micro apps and workflows which are specific to those applications where you use 4 to 5 key functions. Your 80% applications workflows are taken care over here. Now, yeah, you see these are the SaaS-based application, right? But this is true even for the intranet-based web application. Yes, when you have on-premises web application, even those workflows can be created. So we have, yes, Microsoft Builder available, which is again a very simple, right? A drag and drop for an administrator who are joining the Citrix session would think that, do I need to code now? The answer is no, right? The experience has made so simple that through drag and drop, you can make your cards, you can make your own workflows. That's how simple it is. The second thing, what we have done, we have built a search button. What we realized that finding content these days is taking too much time. And McKinsey study says that 20% of your time is being spent on finding out the right information. Now, how can I save that time? So when I give you the single workspace, when I give you all the relevant tasks for you, now this task, right, which you see over here under the activity, under this particular console, all these tasks are customized, right? Like Facebook and Twitter, right? The feeds are really customized. So if Kalpana, you access Twitter and the feeds you see, the way I access Twitter and the feeds I see are going to be different. So the way you access the Citrix workspace, right, the feeds are going to be different. It will be more relevant to you. You can decide what is more relevant to you. Admin can decide what is more relevant to you, or leave it on machine learning. Machine learning will understand your behavior. That Kalpana today morning came and accessed SAP Concur, and then after that she accessed Tableau, but she did not access in last 3 to 5 days a G Suite. Then certainly she wants to see SAP Concur and Tableau kind of workflows and micro apps in the beginning, in the first of the screen. Let's say the people, right? If those people are part of CEO's team and handles on severity, they would like to see SAV 1 issues first, right? So we show them the SAV 1 issues first. That's how the incidents, the expenses, the different applications, workflows are presented over here. So the personalized feed, commonly used applications, 4 to 5 key functions of an 80% of business applications. Right side, you see, right, the recent applications, desktops and files used by people. We have a common actions. You don't just hear the approval and denial workflow, but in common actions, what you're going to have is you're going to have the automated workflows to do some task, submit a PTO, create a ticket, create a task reminder, create a expense, right? And I will give you a few examples, right? Across the industries, what are the different workflows we have optimized and we have taken it to the next level. That's where the micro apps are. Just adding more on that, right, Kalpana? I know, I'm speaking a lot, but this is really important. As you mentioned, right, the simplifying work is really important so that we can have a better performance from an employee and the employee would be more engaged. So this is the simple example, and these are the simple workflows, right, which is being implemented across the organization for different applications. For the sales productivity, when the people are coming back to office these days, employee well-being, onboarding of an employee, HR processes, facility processes, IT self-service. Would like to give you some examples on each, right? The return to office, what are the different workflows we are having? So we have created, even inside Citrix, right? We have created a workflow which says that, okay, these are the 6 points, like you should have a temperature less than 98 degree and kind of. So we have put these 5-10 pointers. Do you agree on all those pointers? After that, you come to the office. So first, self-certify yourself for COVID-19 that you're not affected right now, right? Once you self-certify, you would see this QR code, which you can present it to the front desk. You will see this OK button as in your workflow, right? So there are people across the world using Citrix Workspace intelligence for self-certifying, right? The return to office workflows. The second is IT services. And one example we just talked about, right? The severity one tickets. But apart from that, whatever the tool you have, maybe the ServiceNow or ITSM tool which you have in your organization, you can have a lot of workflows created from it, right? Instead of creating the ticket, you can view the ticket, you can take actions on the ticket, approve the ticket, deny the ticket. No, everything can be done from single Citrix Workspace. Again, HR self-service. And over here, I can really simplify your onboarding, right, to the organization, and that would be really helpful for HR. I can help you with the PTO request. I can help you with browse the organization's registry. If you want to search someone, you can search it from here itself. And the beauty, right? I just want to see that, do I have that? Yeah, I have this screen where you can integrate well with Microsoft Teams. You don't need to you don't need to just perform the task here. You can share it with someone else, right? New expense report, right? I want to send it to someone else and ask, or I want to ask that person, right? Do you have the receipts? So I can click that expense report, send it on the Microsoft Teams, and ask this particular question. So that's how it is simple, right? The collaboration tools are integrated, the Twitter and Facebook like of experience. So people are saying, right, the consumer experience is best for a consumer application like Facebook and Twitter and Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. But how can we get the same experience for the corporate application? Answer is Citrix Workspace. That's where you organize your work, apps, desktop content in a single place. You are guided for your work through machine learning, through your choice. And then your work can be automated by some of the workflows automations which are present, and then it is really simplified. So that's how we simplify the work, right? And I want to show one particular screen, if it is okay. Yeah, I wanted to show this particular screen where you see this is how my workspace look like. This is my contract approval request, and this is how this comes up. I click on approve and the task is done. This is coming from culture and this is coming from Salesforce. So I can take a task, I can have the notifications, broadcasting, everything is done. I want to request for a PTO. What is the time I want to request for, right? I come here, I will just click on the specific year and month, and then I would click on request, right? That's how you work on this. This is IT self-service portal. The same way we have a different portals created, HR self-service. So reminder, office is closed today. Don't go to office, right? This is coming from Citrix Podio. So likewise, all your intranet-based web application, the web and SaaS applications, which is there on internet, it is going to help you to create the workflows and automate the workflows. Over to you, Kalpana. Yeah, this is how you simplify the work.
Yeah, so well, that means by creating a unified experience for workers by using micro app technology or templates and couple of self-services modules, organizations can simplify the work experience, which will undoubtedly improve their productivity. Yeah.
Exactly. Eventually, the goal is to improve the productivity and make them engaged, right? So you are going to see everything on a single window. That's how it is going to be very simple for you. Yeah.
Yeah. So how could we approach to measure user behavior, performance, and productivity in a remote environment?
Yeah. Now over here, right, there are two aspects, Kalpana. The first aspect is understanding from the security landscape. Now, what we are doing here, a single window workspace, everything is fine, but there is a CISO in the organization who wants to understand every actions of an end user from the security aspect. And that's where Citrix, see, obviously, when you build a workspace, right, it is not about just one product, right? It is about having a lot of integrations behind it. Virtual applications, desktop, mobile applications, web applications, SaaS application, on-prem desktop, public cloud, desktop as a service desktops. Then you have the VDI yourself, files. When all this present at one place, I want to understand the user behavior. And any anomalous activity, I want to take action. So the first, what we have come up with is user behavior security analytics. And this is really amazing. Over here, all different data sources, right? Citrix Workspace app from where you access everything. And from the data center, we collect logs and content at different places, right? At different sources. Maybe for virtual apps and desktop, you have a content collaborations, you have a micro apps, mobile, networks, all these places. What do? We collect the data, we understand the user behavior. After understanding the user behavior, we categorize that this is the particular event is happening because of authentication failure, authorization failure, endpoint analysis failure, posture check failure, suspicious IP accessing a particular core banking application, right? Suspicious, or maybe a geolocation, the network, right? You're coming from a geo-fenced location out of India, not allowed, right? So we understand those categories. And after understanding that, we indicate the risk to the organization. Now, before coming on the performance part, right? I just wanted to explain over here that with better performance, if better security is not coming up, then there is no point. And that is where I'm talking to many people, right? I just wanted to say here, once you get this best performance, this is the tool is going to help you where you understand the user behavior, categorize them, indicate the risk to the organization, categorize the risk, right? This particular task, copy-paste task is done by user, considered as a data exfiltration. Yeah, you can say that the user who is maybe coming from the suspicious IP addresses, so having maybe the compromised access, right? So machine learning based model is going to help you understand the user behavior, define the risk scores, and then eventually you're going to have the notifications and automated actions implemented. Now, what are those notifications, automated actions? Let me just give you some demos, right? I have kept some videos on which can help over here. You see, these are the different data sources, right, which I wanted to show. These are the different Citrix products, right? We gather the data from these different Citrix products. Yes, third-party integrations can be done, like Microsoft Active Directory, Microsoft Graph API. We have those integrations in present. You can export it to Splunk if you would like. Now over here, you see that the another aspect, right? Instead of being the reactive with automated actions, the approach is completely proactive. Over here, you see that I have a user, 12 users are a high risk user, 6 are medium risk and low risk. So I define the risk score. Now, if you go to the specific particular user, let's say I want to look at the Georgiana, right? What she has done, why her risk score is 99. But I would know from here that she has done excessive screen captures, access from unmanaged devices, jailbroken devices, endpoint analysis, scan failure has happened, from which device that scan has failed, right? So these are the different events which are coming up. These are the different risk indicators to the organization. And then what I have done, I have taken some actions. You see here, I have started the session recording. So when I see a risk is above the allowed score, start some action. Maybe you can start the session recording. Video record of a session would happen, right? So even that is possible on the session recording front. So that's what I wanted to show here, that you gather the information, but your machine learning artificial intelligence is help you take the automated actions. Next, I want to see the risk categorization. If you don't have this analytics, machine learning, no categorization of risk, not possible, right? But over here, I'm creating the risk indicators, which you see, right? For virtual apps and desktop as a product I'm showing. But over here, a lot of different risk indicators you can create by yourself. That is again going to help you. The next, the power of policy, start session recording. Send notification to end user, right? Send notification that was it you? The way we receive an email in Gmail, right? If you access from different devices, they ask a question, was it you? The same questions would be asked by Citrix when you access from, or you break your risk score, or the risk indicators suggest that I should take some actions on you, right? Can be done. You can take your actions on the users. Behavioral based learning, right? Understanding the user behavior, where he is coming from. Here you would be able to see all the geolocations users are coming from, and would understand more about that users and the location of the user. So that's again a really good functionality which you would have it from the security aspects, and you're going to have the minute details. You don't have minute details if you don't have analytics. And here, if I'm just gathering the last 1 month informations, I'm getting the crazy information, right? What is my server backend connected, client IP address, device is connecting from, operating system is connecting from, what are the major minor versions of the operating system. So these are the real good informations which we are getting, right? So Kalpana, right, what I will see that this is the most important aspect, right, of getting the security point. Now the second, I would like to focus on the performance aspect, right, which is again an important, right, from end users perspective. This is nice, right? A single security view to understand everything. Now the performance aspect I wanted to talk about over here. Now the first is, right, user centric, the experience scores you have. Now when you access from remote, you have a different different tools, right? Or different, I would say, the marks. The latency is one mark. For an example, that the network latency, the WAN latency, the data center latency, round trip time. The Citrix protocol everyone is aware of, right? The ICA, HDX is the new, right? High definition experience. Now HDX, ICA, or when you have ICA round trip time, you want to calculate ICA latency, all are the different numbers you are going to get. But how to make relevance of this number and define the user experience? This is the challenge right now. So how Citrix resolves that particular challenge? That is by Citrix Analytics for Performance. That's where each and every product in the organization from Citrix, each and every sites of that product in the organization, like Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop, whoever are using it, would understand that you might have multiple sites, right? You may have site 1, 2, 3 in DC, DR sites. Then you would have something coming up on Azure, AWS. A lot of customers, right, have different sites. I have one customer who is having a 53 sites. Crazy, right? Now, gathering the information from these 53 sites and taking an action on it and understanding as simple as user experience, good, poor, fair, right? So how do you do it, right? That's where the Citrix Analytics machine learning base gathers the information, gathers the data from all these different sources of data, and then in a single console, they will show you that the user experience score for Kalpana is greater than 70. And when it goes greater than 70, then certainly it is going to say to the organization that my user is happy, user is productive, user is engaged, the performance is best, and the experience is excellent. And that's where the performance are measured. Over to you, Kalpana. So that's where I just wanted to cover from the security aspects and the performance aspect. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you, Kalpana.
Okay, okay. All right. So that was quite interesting, Fenil. And moving forward, how does Citrix help in building performance insights and prescriptive guidance for the organizations?
Okay, let me just give me a moment. I'm getting another screen ready where I logged off. So I'm just entering my credential. Just give me a moment, right? I'm doing a multi-factor authentication right now. So that I just want to show them live.
Yeah.
So authentication is happening. Just by that time, if you have got any question from the participant, Kalpana.
Yeah, I have got one of the comment in the chat, which
Yeah.
I'll just read on. Though I was asking my team if he would, if unmuted, he would like to ask this personally. All right, I'll just read it out. Yeah, this is Manjeet. Yeah, this is from Manjeet Chakravarti, and he is telling that I'm currently on a project for XA7.15, 15,
Okay.
in LTSR, which is currently on premise, and migration to Azure cloud. And they have almost 350 applications streamed via app 5, I believe it's app V. And he is asking that is there any so is there any technology from Citrix Cloud so that they can bypass app 5 streaming and stream the apps via Citrix Cloud?
Okay. So there are a couple of things, right? Obviously, this question is not relevant related to performance, but I would answer that anyway. Now here, when you say Azure, right? So I would understand that you are having your workloads in DDI or planning to move those workloads on Azure. I would recommend that there is one technology from Citrix which you can leverage. Here is a Citrix app layering. Citrix app layering is going to help you build a layer or optimize the image management which you have right now. I understand you have a 350 plus applications. So by using the app layering, there will be one more opportunity you would have where you can attach those application layers elastically to the users, right? And that's a really good thing because the way you right now focuses on streaming, right? What I'm saying over here that you have your image ready, and to attach those layers elastically, those applications layer elastically, that means at a runtime to these images, so that the users accessing that image would get that application. And the beauty over here is, right, based on the Active Directory users and group, you can attach the layer. So in a single image, if I have that application layer present, it may be possible that Manjeet, you as a user would see that application. I as a user on the same system will not see it. That's the beauty of application layers and elasticity of it. So I would say, maybe I can put my email address onto chat. If you have any questions, you can ask me later on. That's fine.
Yeah.
Hope this has helped.
Yeah, hope
any other
questions.
Yeah.
All right.
So this was the screen, Kalpana, I wanted to show to the participants. That's where you see the performance part, right? The users and infrastructure preview over here. Now I have a number of unique users, 17, and this is coming from the live infrastructure, right? This is not a demo environment. This is again a live infrastructures for our cloud.com. For us right now. Over here you see I have total number of sessions are 21 right now. HDX sessions are 20, so you would get all the details of HDX, RDP and console sessions. you are going to get the information over here. And that's why you see I have 16 users. 4 are having an excellent user experience, fair and poor. Now, how do we define this score, right? It is from 0 to 100, 0 to 40, poor user experience, 40 to 70, fair user experience, 70 to 100, excellent end user experience. And that's where over here you see 4, 6, and 1 who are having the user experiences. Now, when you click on something like a poor experience, right, you would get a lot of details over here that why this particular poor experience is, right, because of what are the different factors. And here you see I have 4 major categories: logon duration, responsiveness, availability, and resiliency. Now, when I say first slide, a session availability, so what you are trying to access is really available on VDI or not. For an example, you clicked on application, but VDI is fully loaded, it is not able to serve, machines are down, machines are under maintenance. There could be a lot of different reasons. And this guy is going to present that my machines are overloaded, CPU memory usage is full. And that is where, again, admin is going to get the insights from the performance part. Session responsiveness, you are going to get, I was talking about those marks, right, those numbers. That's where the DC latency, WAN latency, host latency, all these informations are going to come to you in a single screen. The next is session logon duration. Now over here you see GPUs, profile load, interactive sessions, brokering, all this information is a small stuff about session. You are going to get it over here. And then once you get it, it will be collaborative. And then eventually it will define one thing, which is a user experience score. Now you might say, right, these are the informations coming at different places, again, onto on-prem setup right now. But gathering that information, running the analytics engine, and presenting the user experience score is the real task of the performance analytics. Moreover, it is not just telling you that, but it is going to tell you and give you the failure insights. It is going to guide you, right, that what if you have a challenge in session resiliency? What if you have a challenge in session availability? I have a challenge over here in session availability because of I have a black hole machines, and because of this black hole, I have got a lot of issues. And why this has happened? Because I have an issue with RDS licenses, right? Over here, so they're directly telling me that, right? Check out on the RDS licenses by putting into the maintenance mode, reboot the systems, resolve the issues by this way. All this guidance you are going to get. And on all these aspects about logon durations, about all the sites, right? All the delivery groups. Now I'm coming a bit deeper, right? The people who are using 7.15 LTSR, so obviously you all have a very fair understanding about virtual apps and desktop. All the sites, all the delivery groups are going to be presented here. And then on these 4 aspects about excellent session, fair session, poor session, and logon performance, it is going to present it to you, right? So each and every delivery group is going to tell you that what is my experience, right? What is my end user experience? It is having excellent sessions or poor session. So that's how Kalpana, the performance is going to be measured, and the user experience score, you as an admin, you as a business owner, is going to satisfy you that, okay, what is being implemented in my organization, a Citrix Workspace, for the unification and simplification of the work. But even if after implementing that, you are going to get the best performance, that's what is analyzed over here.
Yeah, that's really nice. I can see one of the question coming up from the audience, and which is all about, yeah, he's asked that, is your performance management solution compatible with all the cloud providers?
Yeah, it is. So there's no challenge, right? More than this performance analytics, I would say Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop, where you run your actual workload, right? Citrix gives you the control plane, but you run your resource location, workloads on the resource location. That could be any public cloud provider, Azure, AWS, GCP, on-prem, wherever you want to keep it, you can keep your workloads. Your applications, when it is about, let's say, there are a lot of different sessions, right? Kalpana is organizing from the security aspects and all. So how securing the intranet-based web applications, internet-based web application. So this particular tool is not only gathering the information from these virtual apps and desktop and these public cloud providers where your workloads is running, but it is going to get you the information for all other different toolkits and the solutions it has from the security aspects, right? So that's what Kalpana, my answer is.
Right. So there's another question that how is Citrix solutions better than the competition? That is a big one.
What is the, so now about, you're asking for Citrix Workspace or Citrix Analytics to be specific? Because it is a long conversations, right? When we talk about competing with someone, and each and every vendor, right, has their own features and functionalities. I would just say in last 30 years, right, how Citrix has evolved. Virtualizations, we are doing it since long, but having a virtual apps and desktop delivered, we are having a mobile applications management, mobile device management. So we are into enterprise mobility management space. We have a content collaboration, so the shared file as a solution. That's where in a single screen, we are able to organize the work about apps, desktop, and content. The second is workflow automations, which I just talked about, right? And if I look at my competitor space, right, they started coming up with this, but they do not have the 100+ out of experience workflows which we have already implemented into production for our customer, and we can even support internet-based web applications. So something called micro app builders and all concepts, Citrix is really differentiating its workspace through it. So that's my simple answer, but this could be a crazy long answer to on compete front. If you can be very specific, or maybe we can have one-on-one chat on that.
Yeah. All right. So last but not the least, Fennel, what is your message, you would like to give to our audience?
So message is simple. In this pandemic time, everyone has realized how important the remote work is, right? Everyone is switching their gear, and even they switched it last year and gave the remote work. Maybe over the VPN, maybe over the VDI, but now it is time to move to the next level, right? VPN, we know what challenges it brings, what experience issues it brings. That's why people have moved to the VDI way. But moving to the next level where you can have a different strategy for different profiles of the organization. Now, when I say profile, it is not about the rank of the organization, but it is about the user, what that user needs it. And based on that, if you do the right profiling of your user, you will really understand that who needs what. And eventually you would realize that if I give Citrix Workspace, then all my user base of an organization is being taken care of. So I would say everyone, the people who are using Citrix Workspace, keep using it, integrate with analytics for the better performance and security analytics. But the people who are not using Citrix Workspace, right, I would just say, think a couple of things, right? One, what time in the organization is being spent on finding out the right information? How many devices user has to switch? How many devices user has, we call it as in context switching, right? How many times user has to context switch to access the information, to access the application? Third, how do you define productivity and engagement of your organization? And once you are able to answer on all those perspectives, you would be able to build your workspace, and then Citrix is with you to help build your workspace. That's what my final message.
Yeah, the replies to these questions will help them decide what to choose for.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So thank you, Fennel. It was a complete pleasure interacting with you, and I'm sure the insights shared by you today will be really useful for our audience, and we really appreciate your time.
Sure. Thank you so much, Kalpana.
Yeah. And thank you everyone for attending the session. Please follow Please follow #CXOTV and stay tuned to our social media channels for more updates. Stay safe and take care.